Hi everybody, and welcome to this channel, Freya's Crone. My name is Melody. For those of you who are new to this channel, welcome. And welcome back to my returning subscribers. I'm grateful for each and every one of you guys and all the love and support that you've given me on this YouTube journey. So hit that thumbs up to connect with this video. Leave me a comment in the comment section below and let me know how this general reading resonates with you. If you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button and the little notification bell. And you can always share this video with somebody who will resonate with these messages. All of that helps out this channel and it is greatly, greatly appreciated. This video is for the lunar eclipse that we got coming here in a couple of days that is in the star sign of Virgo. This is also for the star sign of Capricorns. So let's talk about this eclipse. So this is a total blood moon lunar eclipse in Virgo combined with a Mercury retrograde in Pisces that creates a highly charged, introspective, and transformative period. It demands we release control and perfectionism and the past while shifting from frantically doing to necessarily being. Expect high emotional stakes and communication disruptions. The lunar eclipse occurring in the 6th house of daily routines and health. This eclipse urges a release of unrealistic standards and overwhelming to-do lists. It is a time for profound and emotional purging and stepping out of your comfort zone. Aided by a challenging connection to the South Node. So Virgo is in the South Node, which means Pisces is in the North Node, which means Mercury in Pisces, which represents the purging of playing the victim, 222. And having to take accountability. Mercury retrograde in Pisces occurring simultaneously. This brings miscommunication, technological glitches, the resurfacing of past issues or exes. It forces a often forced slowdown, asking us to connect with our inner selves rather than just chasing productivity. The intersection, the energy combines intense practical and critical Virgo energy with dreamy, confused, or intuitive Pisces. This creates a conflict between wanting to fix everything and needing to surrender to the emotional, messy reality. Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces will be the most affected. So you need to let go of control. Eclipses often make decisions for us if we refuse to adapt, which can be very messy. Embrace slowing down. Use the retrograde energy to reevaluate, not necessarily to start new major projects. No, you don't ever want to start new projects, sign any contracts, or anything during a Mercury retrograde. Embrace slowing down. Alright, so be kind to yourself. The Virgo-Pisces axis can make us overcritical of our shortcomings. Prioritize mental rest. So be gentle with yourself. Alright, Capricorns. Please and thank you, Holy Spirit. What's the moon's energy around the Capricorn collective? The moon represents the unconscious or the feminine side, things that are rooted within us, and the sun represents the masculine side and the consciousness. So the moon's energy, be bold and make the first move, a cardinal moon, which Capricorn, you are a cardinal sign. So the cardinal signs represent the start of a new season. So something literally could be happening around the spring equinox. That may be the time frame when you need to make some sort of a move. So through the eclipse, or the lunar eclipse, is the perfect time to take a break, slow down, reevaluate what move that you want to make. Start listening to your intuition and release any clouded energy in your crown chakra. Don't be overcritical if something did not work in the first place, because you got to understand that the divine is stepping in. Yeah, fiery climax approaches in the full moon energy. So you will have something that is triggering you. Maybe something you need to identify within yourself. Something that you may be identifying outside of yourself. Aries is also a cardinal sign. So Aries is coming at the end of March. You may need to take a look at the bigger picture, see something from a higher perspective. Again, maybe something that did not work out in your favor in the first place. Okay. Something may be resurfacing as well that's approaching you that can be very triggering. So you're being asked to take a look at some repetitive pattern or habit that comes to something from your past experiences. That you need to take a bigger look at why something did not happen, what actually got in the way of something that you were trying to move on, or something along them lines. All right, so we're going to go ahead and pull an Earth Magic Oracle card, because the lunar eclipse is in the Earth sign for Capricorn. So this could be connected to an Aries ex Capricorn. Maybe you two bumped heads because you're both cardinal signs. Or this literally could just be about an attitude with somebody, maybe an ex, or your attitude as well, because the first house represents I am. And this I am house makes you aware of your outside surroundings. Please and thank you, Holy Spirit. For Capricorn. Oh yeah, I've seen this card. The ancestors are stepping in. I feel like they're offering a helping hand. You have a snake on this card, Capricorn, which represents sneaky snakes, hidden enemies, because that's what Pisces represents, the hidden enemies, sneaky snakes. So you could have had generations of sneaky snakes around you. On the bottom of the deck, childhood. Some sort of a childhood wound or pattern that has repeated over generations and generations and generations and generations. And it's being brought to the surface to address that dark night of the soul energy. Yeah, something is being purified. Something is being purified here. And once it's purified, you're going to be able to move through this situation very easily. So whatever needs to come up, whatever is triggering, you need to look at the bigger picture of why this is coming up. This is something you cannot avoid, ancestors. Ancestors are those from whom we are descended, with a lineage that starts with our parents, grandparents, and stretches back hundreds of years, even thousands of years. We carry our ancestors' bloodline and are connected to them both genetically and spiritually in an underlying continuity of which we may only barely be aware. Although environment and circumstance contribute to shaping us as a child, right? So it's some sort of social shaping that you have been repetitively repeating as a habit since you were a child, that has been handed down from generation to generation to generation. Particularly when we're young, the innate thread of kinship exists that has run the course of history for thousands of years and is contained in our bodies and in our being. Since we're biologically and soulfully connected to these spirit beings, we can readily call upon them for guidance and assistance in matters concerning our family, community, and ourselves. In this card, imagine the hands symbolize the constant connection with the past. The Australian Aborigines consider their ancestors the core of their spirituality and culture, and the rainbow serpent, the spirit being that created all life on earth, intertwines herself throughout the hands, fingers representing how Aborigines honor all creation. No matter our lineage, we have much to learn from our ancestors. We have within you the blood of your ancestors. You have within you the blood. So this is something about your blood. You are deeply connected to your lineage, the most immediate proof of that being the physical resemblance you have to your mother and father, and perhaps even your grandparents. Yet beyond that, although unknown to your usual senses, you are connected to an ancestry that reaches back through the millennia. This is the time to call upon these ancestors, those who are of your bloodline, as well as those ancient ones who have walked the land that you now walk. In many indigenous cultures, it is believed that the essence of your ancestors inhabits many of the physical aspects of the land. In other words, they are in the trees, the water, the air, the animals, the stones, their blood being in the very dirt and sand you tread upon. Next time you're outside, Capricorn, allow your senses to open to those ancestors who abide in your physical world. And any time at all, allow your heart to open to those spirits to whom you are related through heredity and those to whom you are connected by virtue of the land upon which you live. My arms are suddenly very itchy. So these ancestors have been watching over you since you were a child. But this also talks about the generations of patterns and habits that has socially shaped you since you were a child. This needs to be purged. This needs to be taken a look at. And we're talking about the Virgo energy of your health issues. So you could have some sort of a health issue that you've had since a childhood that you inherited. In this lunar eclipse is a perfect time to purify that. To purify this blood. Something about being purified, your blood being purified. I don't know why, but I'm feeling like some sort of an RH factor here is coming through. You may have a specific RH factor, like a negative RH or an odd blood type coming through. Cardinal sign or Capricorn. It may be an odd blood type. Like I said, an RH negative. For some of you, you may be identifying as an Aborigine. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. It's the ingenious people, ingenuous tribe. You may be finding out that you came from the indigenous tribe. You may be finding out that you have an RH negative, and you may be questioning, why do I have this RH negative, right? And it may be hard to find blood types that matches yours, because you may have some sort of a health issue when it comes to blood. All right, so let's go ahead and cut the deck, please, and thank you, Holy Spirit. Yeah, wealth, status, windfall, gold. Spirit of the waters, cleansing, healing. Yeah, emotions. So you're healing, right? You're healing, you're purifying. Some sort of a blood purification is coming through. Cleansed. Umbrella, shelter. I don't know why, but I feel like see, it's red for one. That definitely talks about your ancestral roots. For some of you, you may have something with the sun. Like for instance, this is an example. This may not be your story, but this is an example. My daughter, she cannot get overheated. When she gets overheated, she has nosebleeds. And this may be something that you experience as well when it comes to the heat, the being in the sun too long, or something along them lines. You may have to shelter yourself, be in the shade. You may have to be cool, like, be in the waters, be in the cool waters. Indestructible, gray, depressed, detached, and a burden. Yeah, you've had to carry this burden from a father figure. You inherited this from a father figure in your, the Y chromosome in your blood. The Y chromosome. Even if you're a male or a female, it does not matter, but you inherited this from a male person in your generation, and it has something to do with your heart space, Capricorn. Yes, this was a hard burden. You've carried this burden from your childhood, and it has come down through generations, and you have been very depressed because maybe you're unable to go outside, you're unable to experience going outside and having fun in the sun, or going swimming with your friends, or something along them lines, right? This also could go into your bones, like it's something within your bones, a chromosome in your bones, but it definitely talks about your health. Maybe autoimmune deficiency, but you definitely inherited this from a male person in your generation that is very, very dominant. And if you're a male individual, it is connected to your Y chromosome. If you're a female individual, this came from a male ancestor, father, grandfather, great-grandfather, great-great-grandfather, somebody along them lines. It has affected your heart health as well. So this could be the health issue, a heart issue. When it comes to your blood, maybe you have some sort of a heart blockage or a heart palpitation where your blood doesn't circulate right. And it has made you very detached or depressed because this has been a hardship, a burden that you've had to carry, that you inherited, right? See how they're outside playing in the sun on this card, right? Having fun. See the water? Alrighty. So this may be something that you are purging. This may be something that you cannot fix, but you may have to just deal with, right? You may just have to adapt with the situation. For some of you, you may be afraid to have children because you don't want to pass this issue down to your children. For some of you, that I'm feeling that. For those of you, you may be, like I said, afraid to have children because you don't want to pass this illness down to your children. For others of you, you may already have children and pass this down to them. Spirit of gold, wealth, status, windfall. See, fall time. Something about the fall time. The season, when the season goes into fall, when it becomes more cooler, then you're able to go outside and have a little bit of fun, enjoy the outside. This also, see the pumpkin here? That represents your sacral chakra. That's where we birth from. So yeah. Spirit of the waters, healing, cleansing of emotions. There's that child energy coming through. Umbrella, shelter, cycles. So, yeah, I feel for some of you, I do 100% feel that somebody wants to have a child, but they're afraid that they're going to pass this illness down to this, like they're going to pass it through to their children. I feel like somebody is definitely going to miss a cycle, perhaps in the fall time, or you already did last fall and you're like 3-4 months pregnant. But I 100% feel that you've carried this burden, or you or your partner has carried this burden since you were a child. And you've been very over emotional about it. Like, it's been very triggering because you've wanted to go outside, you've wanted to enjoy time, but you've always had to wait until the fall time to go out and have fun. Yeah, so something about union, coming into a relationship, communication, devotion. This also could be talking about being in third-party situations, but I feel like whoever you're talking to, or whoever I'm talking to, you may need to go get a second opinion from perhaps another doctor. Light a white candle in honor of your ancestors and pray for them, ask them to come in and help you, because I do feel union is in the air. Some of you may be afraid of that, maybe afraid to come into union, get married, and have children. But I feel like whoever you find, they're going to be devoted to you regardless, right? Some of you may have a hard time getting pregnant as well. You may have something wrong with the womb. And you may have had this problem. I'm getting a couple of different stories here. You may have had this problem since you were a child. Problems with your cycles. I hate to say this, but I'm also getting something about maybe your innocence was taken as a child as well, and that could be a wound that you need to face. That is like a specific message. And when you come into union with somebody, that's why you often get yourself in third-party situations, because this is an unhealed wound. And intimacy is very triggering for you. Please and thank you, Holy Spirit. Can we have one more card for Capricorns? Spirit of Gold and Fall. Yeah, the Seven of Pentacles. So I do feel where you put your time, your energy, and focus is what will grow. Okay. So the Seven of Pentacles often talks about making some sort of a plan. You need to make some sort of a plan, perhaps, or maybe you're planning on pregnancy. Maybe you've already come into union with somebody and you sat down and had this conversation with them, and this person is saying, I don't care, I'm still going to stay devoted to you. You know, I know that this is hard for you to do. I know you're very depressed about it, but what I feel for you is indestructible, right? So that is something else that I'm getting. I feel like you need to put your time, your energy, and your focus on healing these wounds, of purging these emotions, of purging maybe this low self-esteem, purging this low self-worth, or purging this spirit of intimacy. Spirit of the waters, inner child. Ace of Cups, yeah, right? Cup of water. I'm telling you. All right, so what I see here is you need to feel worthy. You need to raise your self-esteem. You need to work on offering yourself a lot of love over this lunar eclipse. Because I feel like you may have been a victim of SA, but it doesn't have to rule your life. All right. For those of you that resonates with. For others of you, I feel like there is a major cleansing of the blood here that is happening on a health issue. You could have a lot of mental health issues because you could be afraid of conception, of passing whatever this health issue is down to your children. I feel like you are going to miss a cycle. I feel like you are definitely going to get pregnant here for whoever I'm talking to. I do feel like pregnancy is in the air for some of you. All right, let's umbrella cycles. The star, yeah. The star is an essence in reverse of feeling hopeless, right? My wish is never going to get granted. I feel hopeless, right? This is a rooted issue within you. It could be a mental illness as well. You could be having some sort of a mental illness about this, right? Depression, because you've carried this burden for a while, but Spirit's telling you it's coming up to be released. So face it. Because union is in the air. That I feel like that's why you've been in third-party situations, because of this fear. You don't feel worthy. It's like somebody took your innocence when you were a child, and when they took your innocence, they took your self-respect, they took your self-worth with it. And now you're in this sense of hopelessness of, I'm going to keep repeating this cycle because I don't know how to heal this wound. Well, this lunar eclipse is going to help bring up that wound so that you can address it. Something is written in the stars for you. There is a divine plan in order here. Something may have happened when you were 7 years old. My condolences if that is your story. On the bottom of the deck, yeah, somebody feels abandoned. Somebody was very materialistic, very greedy. Somebody is working on abandonment issues. Yeah, in childhood wounds, abandonment issues are coming through. Somebody could be working together with somebody as well. We have the Queen of Pentacles in reverse and the King of Swords in reverse. So I feel like you two can work together and come to some sort of a compromise, right? And make some sort of a plan to work on this abandonment issue. And it may be hard, right? Because you suffer from depression, you suffer from that mental illness. Because of this, having low self-esteem. But you are being given an opportunity to heal this childhood wound that you've been carrying from generation to generation to generation. Yeah, okay. So that could be why you feel the way you do. Maybe you've been feeling rejected. So instead of, and therefore you put yourself in third party situations as a way to guard yourself, to protect yourself. I'm getting a couple of different stories. You take what resonates with you, Capricorn. Thank you for watching.